Scrappy friends. This is Naomi with a second layout for the Victoria Marie Scrapbook Creatives YouTube channel hop. In this layout, I'll be scrapbooking a picture of myself with my sister-in-law and my niece and my dog Peyton on the day that the Washington Capitals won the Stanley Cup, which was back in June. Yep, that's the picture right there. A huge hockey fan. It was the best day. So of course I had to get it on a layout and in my album. So basically I picked some papers from my stash and I decided to cut down that sort of linen colored paper and then frame it with that blue striped paper. And I apologize now for the shaking. So I'm going to then mat the photo with this blue paper. And then I'm taking a look at these other papers, considering which ones to use as layers. Looking at Pinterest for my sketch inspiration. And taking a look at those papers, there's one there that has music notes on it that I just really liked the look of that. I liked the colors. I thought it matched the picture very well. We all had on our red Capitals jerseys. It was a really fun night. It was a long time waiting for the Capitals to win a championship. And so I'm just cutting the papers down to make some horizontal layers there. That word phrase paper has phrases like "this makes me so happy," "right here, right now," "you are my happy," "this was a good day," and that all definitely describes how I was feeling that day. So I just layered that paper on top of the paper with the music notes and then cut a piece of red paper with some gold accent that doesn't really show up very well on the camera, but just working on how I want those layers to look and where I want the photo to sit. And then I have this acrylic shape. I think it came in a kit a while back that says happy. And I knew I wanted that to be a part of the title, but at this point in the creative process, I was not sure at in what place. Now that is a piece of specialty paper that came in a kit that I really wanted to go ahead and cut into. It's by Pink Paisley. It's sort of clear acetate paper with gold paper clips on it. So I end up cutting a piece of that to add to the layers, and I wanted to layer some black cardstock behind it so that it would stand out on the layout. So I just cut those two pieces together and then trimmed it down a bit. And then I layer that on top of the red strip and add the horizontal layers. Moving things around a bit, trying to decide, do I want it close to the top, close to the bottom, just your normal scrapbooking process. What looks the best, right? And so I fool with it for a while. Think about it, thinking about where I want that acrylic piece to go, where I want the title to be. And so I'm looking at these tags. I thought about stenciling some numbers of some of the players onto the layout. And then I had this clear acrylic card that says try on it, and I really liked that as a layer. And since the Capitals have been trying for so many years to make this happen, I thought that it was very appropriate for this page, and I really wanted to get that on a layout because it was just a piece, an embellishment that I really loved and just never got on a layout. So those are some tags by Hottie Swap. And so I just tucked one that has a red polka dot decor there at the top, tuck that into the layers. And then I found these little paperclip embellishments that had been in my stash. And I wanted to find a number 8 because number 8 is the jersey number I was wearing. Because it's the jersey number of the captain, and there's the 8. Yeah, the captain of the Capitals. And so I wanted to make sure that I included an 8 on this layout. That's my little tray of embellishments. None of them really match this layout. It's sort of just what I keep on my desk of things I've sort of tossed in there. Just shuffle through them a little bit to see if something would work. I end up using that blue bow there. I'm just thinking, where will I go from here? I like that card underneath. It says love this right there at the top. Pretty much any embellishment that talked about loving the day worked for this layout. And so I'm going ahead and committing to that love this card there in the layers below the photo, committing to the photo in that spot. And just getting all the layers together. Lots of glue runner. And so I added this little navy blue bow. It's actually not going to stay in that spot. It's going to sort of travel around the page. And I am considering these little phrase stickers I found on a sticker sheet that was in my stash. And it just says things like, tune in next time, thanks for watching. We'll be right back after these messages. Don't touch that dial. To be continued. Just some sort of TV phrases that I thought would be appropriate for this layout. So I just layered them up below the photo and just clipped out a little edge there, and there you can see those a little bit closer. Zoomed in a little bit. And at this point, I decide to move that bow and layer a tag underneath it. I'm considering these puffy shapes. And then I get out some flare. I love flare. I wanted to use that one with the clock on it again, just thinking about the time and how long it took them to win this championship. But the one with the clock does not make the layout. So I'm looking at these puffy shapes again. Consider putting one there below the bow. And pulling out more ephemera, trying to decide what else needs to go on this page. I found some rub-ons. Like, when was the last time you used rub-ons, right? And I zoomed way in so that you guys could really see how close up that is. And I actually really liked it once I got it down. And so I put the rub-ons in, I think, 3 different places on this layout. Down there below those phrases, and then up in the corner in that sort of layered cluster. And then there are some in the bottom left corner. So I'm liking it so far. I'm liking the layers. That's my huge container of Flair. I went through a little love affair with Flair for a while, and so the collection got a little outrageous. So I'm just going through them trying to figure out if I have any that will work for this layout. Looking for reds or blacks and whites. And clearly there are a ton. So I end up keeping that one that says hello there on the bow. And also keeping that one down in the bottom right hand cluster. That's just the 2 hearts. And we're just going to shorten that string on the tag a little bit. So I'm liking the balance so far. And I like this Carpe Diem sign because it was definitely a day to seize the day. Get this win. Make the fans happy. There's a happy day arrow that I was considering using there above the Carpe Diem sign. That does not make the layout of the happy day arrow. I think consider the butterfly. No idea what I was thinking with that. He clearly does not belong there. And so I'm just putting some Stampin' Up! Dimensionals behind the flare button so that it will sit evenly on that bow. And putting some adhesive on the Carpe Diem piece and adding that to the layouts shortly. So we got those glued down. And I'm considering putting this little puffy camera there. And as you guys can see, I am a pretty slow scrapper. This is at 2.5 times speed, and I'm still pretty slow. So I put the number 8 paper clip there on the bow. I really like that there. And that's my jewel picker tool that I use to place small embellishments onto layouts. So I just put a few little sparklies around that cluster there at the bottom. And now I'm just going to figure out exactly where I want to put this title. I used some very thin double-sided tape to glue the happy acrylic piece down. And it actually worked out really well. And then I went for thickers, and I decided to make the title of the layout So Happy. I thought I was going to do it in all red, so I grabbed my red and pink thickers are all there together. Then I decided to maybe do the word so in black. And this is one of my favorite black thicker fonts, but it just didn't work with the acrylic piece. At least I didn't like it, so that was a no. And I went in search of more thickers in black, and I finally settled on this more sparkly set. I just like the way that looks together, those 2 fonts. So yeah, the final title of this layout is So Happy, because that is definitely what I was that night, as I'm sure we're all Capitals fans. And so now I'm thinking that the layout needs to be a little bit more defined, so I decided to outline the main background paper, just sort of a double kind of wonky line. Once that was done, I decided to also outline the red or the music print paper just so it would stand out a little more. And I think that's American Crafts Precision pen that I'm outlining with. And so then I grabbed a micron pen and just did my journaling along the side there, and it just talks about what a great day it was and how it took 40 years for the Capitals to win a championship and how all Capitals fans were just thrilled. And so I decided that I wanted to do a little bit of splatter on this layout, so just trying to figure out what I wanted to cover the photo with. Grabbed some Heidi Swapp Color Shine here in just a second and did a few sprinkles. Maybe more than a few. And then just a little baby wipe to clean up. And I think I like it. It was a great memory. There was a couple close-ups there of that cluster and then a second cluster. The journaling there to the side. And here are some close-up photos. Thank you so much for coming back and watching this video. Thank you for participating in this channel hop with myself and my classmates. Thanks to Victoria again for teaching this class and for hosting it. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and feel free to follow me on